This is a deeper analysis of Nala the aggressive pit bull, and this is the roadmap, or the way that I see forward for integrating her and Macy the Shih Tzu in the same household together as smoothly as possible. This is for Nala's owner and anyone else who chooses to watch it. Maybe you can pick up something from it. But the first thing we need to figure out is what kind of dog is Nala, and we can assess this based on the interactions that she has with other dogs. So when she first met Grey Goose, and I don't prefer dogs meet on a leash, but it wasn't an added security or safety measure that I wanted to utilize. But you'll see when they first meet, they're on pretty even ground, right? They meet face to face. They're smelling each other. There is some tension. They're figuring each other out, right? But they're on an equal footing. You know, Nala is appearing to be more dominant. She takes on a more dominant posture. You see now they're kind of more face to face, and then here's where Nala, you know, Grey Goose is pretty relaxed, but Nala here goes face to face, and you can see that she has intentions to aggress, right? So this is a more dominant thing, and you see Nala goes back in, and then Grey Goose stands her ground and basically says, "No, I'm gonna fight back." And now I should have actually let this play out here. I should, because Grey Goose is trying to re-engage with her. I should have let them kind of hash it out. Because what they're really trying to do is figure out who's who. Again, this all comes down to hierarchy, right? So I get in the middle, and I've discovered that Nala's actually pretty responsive to, I was setting a boundary and letting her know that, hey, we're not going to do this. And she listened really well, actually. Now you see the way she's trying to re-engage with Grey Goose is it's a very dominant posturing, a lot of obsessive smelling, this face-to-face, it's almost bullying in a way. And there's a lot of tension. But you see now Grey Goose takes on a more submissive role between the two of them. And that's okay. They have to figure out who's who between the two of them. Now you see me get in the middle, and this is where Nala was very responsive to me, just using body language,
You want to grab your collar?
just
That's
simple
better.
verbal
I can just grab her.
correction, or just addressing her verbally, letting her know, hey, I don't like this. And that's where I was okay with having the leash off of her, because I realized that, hey, she's actually pretty responsive to what I'm telling her. But you see, she does show these moments where she wants to engage, but she doesn't know what to do. Here, she almost looks like she wants to play, but she doesn't know what to do. So she resorts to all this obsessive smelling, this it's coming from this heightened state she's in. She has not been socialized, so she just doesn't know what to do. And see here, the only thing she knows is I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to bully, I'm going to be dominant, and
It's like they don't have to play with each other. You know?
no, luckily Goose will stand her
But this is
ground.
good.
Now
This
you
is
see
good. I
here
like
we
what
get
I'm
into a
seeing.
standoff, and Nala exhibits a lot of dominant posturing, and Goose is just saying, I don't want to challenge you, but I will fight back, which is what she did. Now you see Nala goes into a prey bow here, which suggests she's acting on a predatory instinct.
Yeah.
Grey Goose pushes her back, says, "You're not going to mess with me like that." Sets a boundary. And Goose is, again, she's taking on a more submissive role, but
Nice
she's
job,
also
Grey Goose.
saying, you're not going to mess with me like this. And Nala doesn't, rather than going to a more playful
Now that-
demeanor,
Now that
she just disengages, and so it suggests to me that
let her know, hey,
she doesn't know what else to do. Like, this is all she knows how to behave. So, how do we fix this? What do we do with this? Where's the first place to start? So, the first place I would start is we have to acknowledge that a lot of this comes from a stress load that is on Nala. So, you'll see, like here, when she first meets Macy, there's a lot of whining, a lot of vocalizations. You see she's very tense, she's wound up, she's anxious, she's overstimulated,
too much.
she's jumping on the fence.
I don't blame you. I don't blame
She's
you.
in there's a stress load that's on Nala, right? So what do we do to work her through this stress load? How do we undo this? So this is where I tell Brent to step in and take control, right? Let's set some boundaries. Let's take control of Nala. This is how we begin to take the stress load off of Nala.
Yeah,
The
we'll
more
just move towards it.
little
There you go.
gaps we can fill in, and every
block, yeah,
context
kind of
that, or
potential.
every situation that we're with Nala, the
Now,
human
one thing
involved
guys
needs
that
to take
working for you
control.
in a really
Set
good
these
way is
boundaries for
Brent.
Nala.
She hit
Tell
a
her
lot
what
of
we don't want her to
influence
do.
over Nala.
And
really
by
good
doing this, it'll begin to calm her down, because now we're taking control of the situation where she
Yeah, and
will believe that if we are in control, that she won't have to do it.
Connected to you,
So
Brent,
that
more
will
so
take
than
a
me.
stress load off of her because now she's not adopting the leadership role. We are. So the less she feels like she needs to control these situations, and the more in control she feels we are, the less you're going to see her. You're going to see Nala start to calm down, which is exactly what you're seeing right here. The more Brent takes control, you see her. She's giving him her attention. She sits. She's starting to relax a little bit. This is the beginning of a process, right? We engage in this process continually, and you see the stress will come off of Nala. Now the other half of this is addressing her at the right moments. As you'll see in these short little clips, like watch every time Brent addresses her, what happens.
Hey, cut that out. Hey. Mm-mm-mm.
You see how much calmer she's being and how responsive she is to even when I told her to come to me. Now, it wound her up a little bit, but you see she's looking much better. She even acknowledged Macy, but she didn't engage, right? And see here,
Hey.
we have to see these little moments where she gives this intense eye contact and address her. Let her know we don't like that. Because you see she's going to escalate like she does right there. We don't want her to escalate. We want to de-escalate the situation. Get her calmer as a result of repeatedly addressing her at the right moments. We are taking control, letting her know what we don't want because we want her to engage in a better way. And then the calmer she gets, the more we can get her acclimated to these situations and engaging in the proper state of mind, and we can bridge the gap between her and Macy. Now, the other things we need to focus on are we need to make sure that we do not give any affection to Nala when she's in a heightened state. She's overstimulated, when she's exhibiting dominant or aggressive intent, or any of these dominant postures, or when she's in these modes where she's heightened, and even when she appears like she's happy, she's overexcited. We don't want to give her any affection, or we don't want to talk to her. It'd be best to just ignore her because then she will calm herself down. So we don't want to empower her when she's in these states of mind. We want to discourage this, and we also want to bring her down. So the best way to do that is disengage and ignore her. As you see, when she's on the couch here, by doing this, it helps her to relax. And then we're not pouring gasoline on this fire. We're trying to extinguish the fire. The next thing would be we need to eliminate all activities which trigger Nala's prey drive and promote challenging behavior. So if you're engaging in any kind of tug of war, fetch, anything that would require her to chase something, squeaky toys. I would not give her any toys that resemble prey, anything that has the squeakers in it where she tears them apart. We want to replace those activities with calming, relaxing, and satisfying things. I prefer stuff like bully sticks, collagen sticks. We could fill Kongs with food, something where she could do an activity like go for a long walk and earn something to chew on, and she'll be relaxed. It'll be calming, but it'll also be satisfying. So we're not overstimulating her and getting her into these overexcited states, and we're also not engaging that predatory side of her. We want to discourage that as much as possible because that is part of how she engages with other dogs. It's dominant, but it's also kind of predatory. We want to discourage that as much as possible. Now, of course, the next thing would be we want to continue socializing her with different personalities, but we want to make sure the dogs that she gets around are very balanced and have very good social skills. So she needs to be around more dogs like Grey Goose, and she also needs to be around other dogs that are kind of on her level and can put her in her place and are a little more dominant than her. That'll help to balance her out, because it's okay that she communicates and expresses herself, but she can't take it too far. And now, because we already know what the pecking order is going to be between her and Macy, it's going to be Brent and Mary, and then Nala and Macy. So we need to make sure that even though we understand that that's the hierarchy that's going to be established, that Nala's not acting inappropriately and dominating Macy in a way that would hurt her or scare her, or if Nala perceives her as weak, we don't want her trying to dominate something just because Macy's weaker. we want them to, at the very least, just coexist peacefully without an issue. Doesn't mean they have to be the best of friends. Now, the last thing would be we need to make sure everything is on the owner's terms. Everything's on Brent's terms. So we discourage any behavior demanding from Nala, such as if she has any tendency to nudge you or whine for attention. We want to remove that, discourage that, address her, tell her you don't like it, and ignore her.
I did not invite him up here.
Engaging in play on her terms, we want to eliminate that. Or anytime if she attempts to tell you that she wants to go for a walk or there's anything that she wants to do, everything must be on your terms.
In the home, playtime is on your
And I forgot to include walking is another part of this. Whenever you do walk her, we want to make sure we're addressing her, and we are adopting the leadership role in these situations. We want to remove any
I've never taught this dog to sit.
and all contexts or situations in which Nala is attempting to control
Never
things.
needed a teacher to sit.
So every situation you're in with Nala,
what
you
I'm
are in
getting
control.
at
You are in the leadership role, and she's not attempting to take over in that way.
Control on me,
And so
and I've done
these
it.
are things we'll also address in future sessions. But
When I
this
was in
is
possession of the dog,
these are the
I was
ingredients,
handling
the roadmap, as I said,
How am I
in moving forward and getting Nala to a place where she could live with Macy peacefully.
specific?